Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast that wouldn't die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool would give up a chance for a 30% discount.
The Bartells couldn't believe how fortunate they were to find Peyton.
I adore children, Mrs. Bartell. I love being with them. I love taking care of them. For me, it's the next best thing to actually being a mother.
But they didn't find her.
She seems terrific. What's the catch?
There is no catch. I think she's great.
She chose them.
Welcome to the latest episode of the podcast that wouldn't die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
And hello.
This week, we're discussing the horror classic, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, starring Annabella Sciorra, Rebecca De Mornay, Q from The Next Generation.
Hell yeah.
Matt McCoy, Julianne Moore.
Lloyd Braun.
I always liked on Seinfeld that they took like names of like real executives and just gave them to characters on their show for no reason.
Alec Berg.
It was a whole thing. Anyway, Each week on the podcast, we discuss guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genres with a comedic twist. Aaron, what's the latest with you?
I was so busy today. I slept in and I noticed I was like drooling. My pillow was wet with my droozle. And then I hit 2 estate sales in whiteout fog. I made that reference to the mist to my students because we've had terrible fog. So half of them went and watched it. Miss, it had the big bugs. Yeah. And then
for a minute, I thought you were saying you just started spontaneously drooling while you were walking around town today. Which sounds like a medical issue, if I'm being honest.
The mind goes fast. You gotta
keep up. It's hard.
You gotta keep up. So then I went to my creative club and worked on some collages. Then I went to more estate sales. And the treasure of the estate sale world is I got another Polaroid SX70, this time for $25. You can't go wrong with that.
Told you we had like a crate of old cameras, and I think you told Becky they were worth a combined 50 cents, which ain't great. Exactly. I thought I could retire. I could not, clearly.
It's an interesting fact when you go to estate sales that you learn is just because something's old doesn't mean it's valuable.
You do learn that the hard way. It's like you're on that. What's that show?
Not live.
Antique Roadshow where you walk in. I found this old shit in a drum in the basement. Is it worth something? Hell no, and it's probably toxic. So would you please wheel it out of here?
Please put it back in the drum. In early days, I went to this estate sale at closing time and everything was like 75% off. So I bought like 3 or 4 cameras. They look so cool. So I wrapped them up and I gave them to my boyfriend for Christmas. Everyone broken. Unusable, unfixable.
Oh no.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
That's like what Ebenezer Scrooge would get for Christmas. Here are 3 broken pieces of shit. Enjoy.
At least a lump of coal could at least make you warm.
100%.
I used to sleep on a pile of broken cameras.
If you're Tiny Tim and Santa brings you a lump of coal, you're not freezing for one more day. So that's a happy day.
Facts.
So, such is life. Anyway, that all sounds very exciting, Aaron.
You were supposed to go to the movies. What happened with that?
This is the thing. This episode will come out long after the Oscars. It has become like a personal vendetta that I have where I'm like, I have to go out and see all the Best Picture nominees because I like to watch the Oscars and I like to have some idea of what the they're talking about. Is basically what it is.
I
But
understand.
there are now 10 nominees the last several years. It's been 10 nominees.
Which is
Some
bullshit. Why
right.
does that make it better? No.
I don't know why that. Right. I agree. And the thing is that 5 of them have absolutely no chance because it's
Right.
always one of the ones who were also nominated for Best Director. So it's just a waste of freaking time, these other ones. And it's always like 3 or 4 I've never heard of. Never in a million years have I heard of some of these.
That are only playing in one theater in New York and Los Angeles just so they could be nominated. It's like it's some kind of a shoo-in. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like we were gonna go see. I've done 9 so far, miraculously. I'm 9 movies in. We were gonna go see the 10th one today, but Becky's not feeling well, and we had to go to a weird theater. We're like, oh, this is the one.
You're gonna have to go to LA.
It was that one, and I guess it popped up only one showtime today at like 2:45 at Block of Orange. It's the Brazilian. It's called The Secret Agent. And it's all in Brazilian. We watched a movie last night that it was all in Norwegian.
I'm sorry, it's all in Brazilian?
Sorry, it's all in Portuguese. I apologize to our
you.
Brazilian listeners. Yes. Fair. So, but, and frankly, and you and I have talked about this before, they're all kind of okay at best. Like, none of them made me jump out of my seat and with applause, if I'm being honest. So
that's a fact. I mean, it used to be the 4 movies would come out, and I would have already seen most of them because you're like, there'd be a good buzz. That's not the way it is anymore. Like if you're having to hunt them down, no.
Right.
There are no good movies anymore.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, and they talked about introducing like a category where it's like best popular movies. You know what I mean? I guess movies that did well at the box office, they can vote on those as well. Because it was kind of...
That's called the Nickelodeon Awards.
It is the Nickelodeon, where they drop a bucket of slime on your head if you lose. Right?
I mean, honestly, it's just going to be whatever Power Ranger Masters of the Marvel Universe. I mean, that's what it is.
Well, I mean, and they try... It appears they try to throw in a few movies that were popular and also are critically acclaimed, right? I mean, Sinners is in there. One Battle After Another,
Sinners
everybody's seen.
All right. One Battle After Another. How come Eddington wasn't nominated? Was that a different year?
No, that was earlier this year. I mean, I didn't love Eddington either.
I actually liked it better than One Battle After Another.
Oh, really? Yes. I'm not sure I agree with that one.
Versus a movie that you have to drive 6 hours to go see, that's only playing during the time it has to play. It's a manipulation.
Yes, it should, in my mind, it should be accessible. It should be something that when the shit's announced, you can see it somewhere, right? You can go to the theater, it's on streaming. If it's like impossible for a normal person to see it, then I don't know if it should be eligible, in my opinion. How about that?
Because they're allowing these streaming movies, so why isn't it just streaming then? Because no one wants to see it?
Well, I think in terms of the streaming, I think the rule is that they have to show it in a theater. So what like Netflix will do
so it's
is
another scam.
Right.
Everybody saw it on HBO, but one theater is showing the one Brazilian and the show that you could have watched for free with HBO.
I think so.
Gotcha.
I think as long as they go into theaters for a week, then they're eligible. I think that's BS. I think it should be a theatrical experience.
Agreed. Yes.
Otherwise it's like made for TV, right? It should be like a very special episode.
Sinners was great, but it seemed like it was made for HBO.
I mean, look, I liked Sinners.
I didn't need to see it on the big screen.
I think that Weapons should have been nominated. Of the movies that we've discussed, I liked Weapons as much as I liked a lot of these other ones. How about that?
I agree. How about that? I agree.
That's the shocking.
Really yeah,
totally.
We agree.
Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Aaron, give us your 30-second synopsis of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, 1992, by the way, not
Yes.
2025.
Women should always be wary of other women because we're like wild animals and we will try to snatch your husband and children if we can. It's a lot of women against women violence.
Agreed.
Although,
I think we can all agree.
We can all agree with that. Watch it. Don't, if your gynecologist sends the nurse out for long activities, right as he's getting ready to check out your goods, maybe say, "It's good. I'll wait. I'll wait."
Look, I've never been in that situation. So I don't know what the proper protocol. If it's literally your first time meeting your new gynecologist, your obstetrician, essentially, what's the protocol? Is it literally like hop up, spread them, let's do this? Or is it like, let's have a conversation first, have a bottle of wine? I don't know how it works. What's the story?
It really depends on the doctor. Because I had a male doctor with William, and there was not a lot of chit chat. Where a lot of women I know did a nurse practitioner, or I'm forgetting the actual word. In that case, they sit and visit with you and have a chit chat with you. I'll tell you what they didn't do was slowly caress my stomach.
It wasn't just the stomach.
Seemed a little fishy.
Wasn't just the stomach. He's like, let's do a breast exam first. Whew.
No, that's not
my word.
The breast exam was not that interesting. And I've never seen a gown that opens in the front, but is closed, or opens in your breastal region, but is closed in your crotchal region. Unfamiliar with that gown.
It was a style. It was a style they were trying to work out in the early 90s. No, men are not usually that chit chatty, but I love how he's dropping the glove and there's extreme close up. I mean, it's nowadays it seems like such a bust. Your reputation is going to be destroyed. He was flagrant about it. He's like, hop him up, spread him, and then you see him pull out the glove and then just kind of go throw it to the side. He's like, don't need this. Wave it around.
And I don't need a speculum.
Nope. I'm going in. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way.
I'm going deep. I mean,
but she knew he was. Go ahead.
You're only, since women go to gynecologists, where they're rooting around, and if they're rooting around where they shouldn't be rooting around, then that's that. I mean, they do need to put their hands in there when you're pregnant to check for dilation.
Correct.
But, the pleasure zones are never checked out.
Let me check the G-spot. Let me check the G-spot thoroughly.
They're not checking the G. They're not checking the C. They're not checking any of that. They're seeing if you're dilated. They could take a swab if it's a pap smear. It's generally painful and a pain in the ass and humiliating, but there's areas you don't root around.
You don't need to check certain areas. But what does he do immediately afterwards? Right? He just pulls his bare hand out. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna need to watch my. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro. What are we doing here? Now, she knew he was sketchy.
Thank God they didn't show that.
No.
Thank God they didn't show that. We just see her freaked out, having yet another asthma attack, and running out of the office.
Her fucking asthma.
Quite frankly, how come nobody chased after her?
Ma'am, your follow-up appointment.
Yeah, exactly.
She's screaming.
While she's having an asthma attack, everybody's like, oh. This happens every third patient.
Right.
What the hell?
100%. No, but she knew he was up to no good, like pretty much immediately. He opens up her blouse, feels her up, and she's already giving him the eye like, something don't seem quite right about this.
Maybe I missed it. It didn't seem like, he didn't like flicker tit or something. I don't know.
I think no, you're right. You're right. But I think the reason is because that was really her boob. So he's not going to be like, looking good. He's, you know what I'm saying? So he had to kind of sell it with just like kind of like a skeevy facial expression. And then
Right.
she had to sell it with her like, I'm uncomfortable with this facial expression. So they had to kind of
Which
do a
I'm
lot of
guessing
face
she
work.
probably is.
Right.
And
She found
speaking
that's
of
her
her
real
real,
reaction. Yes.
yeah. And speaking of her real boob, that's clearly not Rebecca De Mornay's giant boob. One minute you see her little boob, then you clearly see the mother of the child's boob, which is ginormous.
Well, okay, yes. She's not literally. They're not going to
They
have
keep
Rebecca
cutting
Dorman.
back and forth between a sleeping child and one actively nursing to a giant breast.
Correct. Basically, they had a stand-in that was like Dolly Parton at one point. We're just like, whoa, easy. But you're not going to have, right, you'll have the real mother nurse her real child. You're not going to have Rebecca Dorman. This ain't no method acting shit where she's going to be like, I'm going to really shove my nipple in this baby's mouth. That's some kind of dedication. She ain't doing that.
According to Sister Wives, it's been done.
It's been, well, they used to have what were called wet nurses back in the day, right? Where the queen or whomever, she's like, I'm not really nursing this child. One of my, whoever, ladies in waiting, they could fucking handle this. I'm going to be out doing kingly, queenly shit, I guess. So that's not now.
So Rebecca De Mornay, the death of her husband and child, that made her crazy, or was she just a crazy ass bitch forever? Because she was diabolical.
We have to talk about this, but before we do any of that, Aaron, had you seen this before?
Many times.
Yes.
It was in the great 90s when everything took place in Seattle because everyone wanted to live in Seattle. Grunge
100%.
was in Seattle. Eddie Vedder was in Seattle.
Yep.
I mean, every fucking movie took place in Seattle. I even wanted to move to Seattle.
100%. What's not to like?
100%. Yeah.
Dynamite.
So I've seen this 1,000 times.
I definitely saw it back when it was out, but I don't think I've seen it since. I think it's been probably pushing 30 years since I've seen it. But I enjoyed it.
It's a very low risk horror movie. It's not going to hang with you. And it's kind of like Little House on the Prairie. Eventually, you hate the Olsens. At this point in my life, I hate that weak ass mother and her wimpy husband. And
it is kind of
inappropriate that he's hanging out with Julianne Moore, smoking her cigarettes. We're having my old lover over for dinner.
Well, okay, this is a question.
Way around her. Blah blah
this
blah.
Is a question. 100%. Well, let's go back. So, oh god damn it. So Rebecca De Mornay's husband is doing the touchy McFeely with Annabella Sciorra. She runs home crying. Her husband's like, honey, what's wrong? And she's like, I was molested by my gyno. And he was very even-tempered about it. He's like, oh, hun, well, that's a shame. We really should call somebody about this, don't you think? It was like, is that a real reaction? Shouldn't you be kind of pissed off? Be like, I'm going to go kick that guy's ass. I mean, some kind of real reaction. He's just like, honey, I could see why that would be upsetting. Why don't we sit down and like, I'll make you some tea. We can talk about it. What the kind of reaction are you having, husband?
Lloyd Braun is the worst. That's because that's his level of acting. I mean, at least he got her to call the cops, for God's sakes.
He did. So that's a positive thing. One thing I wanted to say about that is when Rebecca De Mornay starts dropping out of his office, everybody assumes they're having an affair. They're like, who's this? It's our nanny. They're like, interesting. But he is kind of bland. He's like white bread, where it's just like, even when she's kind of throwing herself at him, where they're like all wet from the rain, and she's like toweling him up.
God.
He's like, in the rain. He is thoroughly uninterested. He's like, yeah, what do you mean? There's only one woman for me.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. She didn't take it the right way. But you think, is it better if he's like tempted, where they kiss a minute and he kind of goes, whoa, hang on. Some kind of, there was like no real threat from him ever like entertaining a smoking hot Rebecca De Mornay.
No.
Which seemed kind of weird.
I would say, which I kind of appreciated, because
maybe that's better. I don't know.
every other movie, the husband's always tempted. They can't always be
100%.
the dirty dog. I
That's fair.
appreciate the fact that he was like, dude, I'm married. What the hell are you doing?
Right.
Freaky Madiki.
Well,
But doesn't want to fire her. Well, how come that's not an issue?
That's the crazy thing. The next day, everything's cool again. You think it would have been like, look,
No.
I don't think
No.
this is gonna work out. You seem very nice. I'll write you a nice reference, but you gotta go. If you're gonna be
100%.
trying to climb into bed with me, my wife's not gonna love that, if I'm being honest.
100%. Now everything my wife said is true because, of course, when your wife initially tells you that, she's crazy. But now you have proof.
That's not what happened in this movie, Aaron. In this movie, what happens is Rebecca De Mornay's husband is Touchy McFeely. He is exposed. It's a scandal. He commits suicide. And because of that, like, their fortune is tied up in lawsuits. Rebecca De Mornay has a miscarriage because she's so stressed out and falls on the floor.
They've
So
frozen all their assets,
Right.
Because all these lawsuits, all these other women have come out, so they're
Correct.
anticipating massive lawsuits. So
100%.
she's penniless. Her husband's committed suicide, and I love after her miscarriage in the hospital. On the screen is Rebecca, whatever the Mrs. Milquetoast's face. With her full name is the first person who's come forward that destroyed your life.
Isn't that against the rules to like?
Don't they protect?
Not in this world.
Seattle is the Wild West. They do as they do.
We're gonna put the name and the face of every victim of sexual assault. Sound good? No, doesn't sound good. That shouldn't happen.
And she's the only one who also hasn't filed a civil lawsuit.
Yes!
Why don't you go after the people with the civil lawsuits?
100%. So, because of that, and this is where it gets kind of fishy, because is Rebecca De Mornay kind of like cold and calculating, like I want my revenge, or is she just fucking nuts? Where she's like, ha, you killed my husband, so now I'm going to steal your husband and your baby, who I'm nursing when you're not looking. She's crazy, right? It's not cold and calculating.
Well, for one thing, she had another plan and then flipped it.
Lay it on me.
Remember, her first night in the house, she walks up with a pillow. She was going to kill that baby. Although, why would you move all your stuff in? It seems like it'd be an easier way.
Baby's dead. I don't know why I unpacked. Yeah.
I guess I'll repack. Bye. And then she flips it and starts breastfeeding the baby. So the baby gets used to her milk and rejects her mother. So now she's playing the long game.
Yes.
Psychological trauma. To me, it seems like she's a crazy bitch who married a crazy asshole. And they were going to populate the world with more madness and catastrophes. And now she's running solo, and she's like, "Let's go."
Okay, because that is a question mark. Because it does seem like her plan to basically kill Annabella Sciorra and take her spot, usurp her position in the household, seemed kind of nuts.
Isolate her from everyone. She already works on the handyman. Then she gets rid of the friends. I know, poor Ernie. But she's isolating her, and she's like making it seem like she's the crazy one. She's not safe to be around the kids. Well, what's her name? What's the character's name?
I don't know. I know it's like Mrs. Mott is the evil Rebecca De Mornay's real name.
I can't remember. Peyton.
Peyton.
Was it Peyton?
It was Peyton. Yeah, that's Rebecca De Mornay.
It was a 90s name. It's just, she's there. She's always ready. Oh, I've saved the baby from swallowing your earring. The baby's not going to die swallowing the earring.
It's probably not good, though.
Well, probably she shouldn't have put it in the baby's hand so she could save it, because that was a pure setup.
Oh, totally was.
Totally. But yeah, she was working her way, because let's face it, how many celebrities F their nannies? Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, everyone.
Yes.
Ethan Hawke.
Right.
Robin Williams,
Jude Law.
everybody F their au pair. You literally need to hire a Mrs. Doubtfire.
Julianne Moore says that. It's like,
Yeah.
you hired this this sex pot
She,
to live in
she
your
looks
home
like
and
a
be your
Ralph
nanny?
Lauren model. She's clearly Miss 90s Ralph Lauren in every outfit.
100%.
Very, very preppy, very stylish.
So there's two things that we kind of barely touched on. Number one, Ernie Hudson, who I love, plays Solomon, the mentally disabled handyman, who initially they're wary of, but then becomes like a member of the family. Like they're just coming up with shit for him to do. And he's there all the time. And the little girl loves him. And it's very sweet. And it always...
Would the agency come over the first day to introduce him? He's like looking in the windows trying to get in. They almost tackled the poor man.
That was... Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, on one hand, it always makes me uncomfortable when kind of... how do I say this? When like non-disabled actors play disabled characters. It kind of makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
But he did it respectfully. I liked it. The way they handled it. And he says, you're not going to hurt this family. I won't let you hurt this family, was what he said at one point to her. Because there's a really good moment when he first meets her. He shakes her hand and accidentally gets a bit of paint on like her cuff of her sleeve. And you see like the rage just flash over her face, and he kind of recoils. And I'm like, that's the shit. That's the reveal right there. Like she's
crazy bitch.
She a crazy bitch.
From jump. She is in The Shining. She is Jack Nicholson. There's not a moment where she's not calculating crazy bitch stuff.
100%. And then there's that scene where it was like, oh shit, we need a battery. Why don't you go dig through Solomon's shit and see if
First of all, what an invasion of privacy. Wouldn't you just ask him? You're going to dig through all his shit? Why don't I needed some gum. Can I just dig through your purse when you're not around?
100%.
Out of here.
100%. And then, of course, Rebecca De Mornay has planted some of the little girls' like underwear in one of the drawers. And I was just like, oh, God. And then smash cut. He's being hauled away by the people at the Good Day program and blah, blah, blah. But of course,
I mean, the 90s were all about everybody's child was molested in the 90s.
Yes,
the McMartins
and the
news
whole
was
deal.
about. Oh my God, the whole world was molested in the 1990s. Yes,
pretty much. It was a sad situation. But that's the thing: if he's suspected of being a child molester, how is he still like walking the street? They're like, oh, he's still out and about working on other properties or whatever. Really? Okay.
Yeah, you feel like the police might have been involved. That the daughter would be interviewed at some point.
Nope, not necessary.
No,
it's fine. It's totally fine. Then there's the other scheme where Rebecca De Mornay says, hey, husband, we should throw a surprise party for your wife. Why don't you plan it with your childhood love, who's now like the best friend that is over all the time, and let's not tell your wife. How's that sound? Okay, sounds great.
First of all, surprise parties are always a terrible idea. Unless it's for someone under 10, then it's like, wow. But for an adult, surprise parties are terrible. 100%. Just tell them, we're having a party on this day. We'll tell you nothing else.
Right.
That's how it should be.
100%. So she
I need to be prepared.
He only smokes when he's around this Julianne Moore. So when he's coming home smelling of cigarettes, she's like, what's up? He's like, I don't know. Must have been some other shit happened.
I called the lab.
Right.
He's like, I'm tired. Okay. I'd be like, motherfucker, the lights are on. It's go time now.
Well, the good thing is she waited to drop, you f***ed so-and-so, how could you? Honey, the party's in the next room. I loved it. That was great. Surprise! Then the week.
Wouldn't you, while you're having the deconstruction of this giant fight, at some point says, you know what? Peyton kept telling me and it got into my head. At what point wouldn't you say, reflect back, Peyton said this, Peyton said this, Peyton said this. It was Peyton's idea. No?
Right. Never.
That's why I hate them. It's like she's half pint. God.
No. All their friends, like literally, if you were somebody at that party, you'd be like, "Oh shit!" This suddenly became the best party ever.
Shit! The best party when I need another drink. Let's go.
100%.
Sit down.
Get your popcorn ready. Right. I mean,
they have to all be his friends because she doesn't have any friends. If you'll notice.
Right. Well, they are friends with the former childhood love and her husband, I guess. They go do shit.
His friend and her husband.
Fair.
She just had a baby. Not a soul came by to visit. You fuck your baby.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe she's she's no prize after all, is what we determine over the course of the movie.
Trust me, neither one of them are the prize pig, so no.
There was also like kind of interesting threads that never went anywhere. Like there was like the proposal that she had to mail through FedEx, and Rebecca De Mornay stole it and tore it up. And he's like,
"Yeah,
oh well, I guess I'll send that that proposal in next week or some." Clearly didn't matter. And it should have been like, honey, I'm going to be fired. It should have had more weight than, who gives a shit? Life goes on.
How about she's ripping it up in the greenhouse, so it's all over the floor. It's all staffed by volunteers, and she's beating the hell out of the place. Wouldn't hey, your friend
at the greenhouse, right there where she works,
busted out the frickin' bathroom wooden stall, and I found all these papers with your husband's name on it all over the floor.
How about the janitor had to plunge a toilet and the goddamn plunger was destroyed, courtesy of Rebecca De Mornay. And now we got the shitter's full. What are we supposed to do?
Shitter's full. They have so much money, she needs a nanny to do her volunteer work.
Which is no longer volunteer if you're paying your nanny to do it.
You're working at negatives now. Yeah.
So, but they're rich, right? If they're like, hey, you know what? With all my free time, since I have a live-in nanny, we're going to build a greenhouse from scratch in the backyard. I mean, this isn't shit that people like. I mean, does everybody in Seattle have a greenhouse out back? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you're going to need more than just her and Ernie Hudson putting that together. It's like 20 feet tall.
Yes, it's a thing.
But he's and that house is giant.
It is.
It's like the giant Seattle house. Although the white on white and the whole inside is white. It was,
not your jam. Not your jam.
It's about my jam as they only have two records in the house. One is HMS Pinafore, and the other one is the Pirates of Penzance, which is on a loop.
That's all you need. Loop. So that is Aaron's house.
It would not be Pinafore, but it would be Pirates of Penzance. Yes.
With Rex Smith and Kevin Kline, the original Broadway classic.
And Linda Ronstadt.
Absolutely. Do love Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah.
I do like that the nanny's bedroom is like down in the dungeon or some shit. It was like the Telltale Heart.
That's where you keep the monsters. The monsters are always kept in the basement.
100%.
She's the rocker, the people under the stairs. Who's it? It's Rebecca De Mornay.
They might as well just chained her down there. She was like the castle freak or something.
She is castle freak. They should have chained her down there. Then they could have had a little tiny chain to the baby. So it'd be perfect.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
And how about going out of the living dead to the little girl? I'm like, you think that little baby who's screaming all night long because the zombies are getting her is not saying, I want a movie with Daddy. Help.
Well, yes.
Dude.
You know it's bad when it's like, hey, it'll be our little secret. Remember, secrets. You teach your kids, don't keep secrets with random adults. Just don't do it.
Dude.
That's how you
And
learn.
quite frankly, when you have kids, I don't know. I was a light sleeper when my kids were little. So Peyton creeping around late at night going into the baby's room and the monitor's in there. Come on.
Yeah. Listening to
We'd
the
be
sound of suckling.
investigated.
Well, I mean, but I guess
Especially if you're breastfeeding, because your breasts wake you up because they're going to pop, and you go in there and there's Rebecca with your baby hooked up.
That's fair. That's a hell of a good point. Do you even? Here's the thing. Look, it would be nice to have a nanny, but it's true. You gotta feed that baby. If you're breastfeeding, you have to feed the baby every few hours. You can't just be, I'll sleep through.
It is physical pain. It is,
yes.
And then it'll just start bursting through.
It will. It'll make a mess.
Although
the whole thing.
I remember in the 90s, Nip Tuck was the show to watch.
Yep.
And one of the doctors hired the night nanny, and it was what's his name? Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones was the night nanny. And
what?
They of course
Peter
ended
Dinklage?
up having yes, Peter Dinklage. And they ended up having an affair. But my whole focus was, if I was rich enough to have a night nanny who did a night feeding, I'd be king of the world.
Wait a minute. They hired Peter Dinklage to be their night nanny? Who the is doing that? This sounds like some kind of weird.
That's why it was the greatest show on television. And the wife had an affair with him.
Oh, Jesus. Is this like some Terry Gilliam shit? Where it's just
it was...
Sweet. Okay,
I'm
now
going to start
I have to watch.
that. I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about how beautiful
now I have
that
to
show
watch.
was.
Sweet Jesus. Anywho, anything else about Hand That Rocks the Cradle before we move on with our lives?
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, even though we're screaming and yelling, is still super great. But honestly, that fucking wife drove me crazy just as much as that fucking... I mean, I feel like, and I still love the movie, let me just say that.
Do it.
I feel like you should feel some sympathy for him. Yeah. He seems checked out, and she seems like a victim. She should have a sign, I am a victim. Please punch me or torture me, because I'm just going to cry.
Right.
She's had some trauma in the past or something. There's something going on there.
In the past. She was molested by her gynecologist at the beginning of the movie. That's trauma.
Dude, before that.
You're victim
and then no, I'm just saying, there's no way she found the courage at the end to stop her asthma and do a fake asthma where Jesus. Just losing an envelope causes her to practically go to the hospital with her untreated asthma. But when someone is trying to kill your children and you and your husband, suddenly my asthma is totally
not a big deal anymore. Right. Well, and here's
when Julia, my next complaint, which made no sense to me.
Let's jump into
the
asthma. The asthma real quick. If you've been around someone with asthma, what you don't do is just kind of spray in the general direction of your mouth. You wrap your lips around it and inhale. It's not just like you're spritzing some Chanel No. 5. You got to fucking suck it in, and you suck it in deep. You want it in your lungs. It's not just like... Spray.
You
like
put your lips around it.
Yes.
It always seemed like she was gonna take a puff, but changed her mind.
She goes like 6 inches away, like it's Banaka. Is what she was doing. I don't know what.
It's like you're spraying some perfume or something. I'm like, what? Everybody else I know puts their lips around that motherfucker and breathes in.
100%.
Not la 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 over and over again, and Nobody's ever seen an inhaler before this movie that stopped and said, sweetheart, come on. I don't have asthma, but I have had an inhaler for other things. Correct. I mean, please.
Nonsense.
The other thing that seemed odd to me, and you correct me if I'm wrong, would you say Julianne Moore is really more the husband's friend than the wife's friend?
100%. Yes.
You have to be friendly with the wife if you're friends with the husband. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to see the husband.
Correct. 100%.
But the primary friend is definitely the husband. So when Julianne Moore discovers who the nanny is, doesn't it seem like she would have called the husband and not crazy Claire, who freaks out if you look at her sideways?
Well, yes. How about this? If you're going to call Claire first, fine. You can't get in touch with her. How about then call the husband? Right? Don't get into a car accident racing through town. I've got to get there first before some shit happens. Call the husband. Call the cops. Call
Right.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like that'd be the first call would be, I got to call my friend, the husband, because what's crazy Ethel Mertz going to do when she's getting the news and the crazy nanny is right next to her?
That's fair too. That's fair.
Yeah.
No,
you need
you're
backup,
right.
and then call the popo.
Yes. No, absolutely. It was that thing that happens in these movies where it's like, oh, somebody, it happens in Giallo all the time, where it's like, you're the one who did it. Now I'm going to turn my back and let you stab me before I can tell anybody else.
Let me expose my neck so you get right in the jugular.
100%.
And why would Julianne Moore even go into the greenhouse? You just open the door to see if she's in there. I'd be like, hey, Susie Q, huh? All right.
Claire!
I wouldn't have gone to the house where the fucking nanny is.
Right. You can look in the window. It's a greenhouse. If you don't see her in there, you don't need to go in. It's not a mystery. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Good Lord. And who knew greenhouses were so dangerous?
They're death traps.
That greenhouse was definitely a Giallo thing. I mean, that must have been in Suspiria or something. It should have been just like a close-up of it all falling in your eyes.
It was.
100%.
It was the director's cut. So, but yes. No, that's a whole thing. But I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, I think the greenhouse trap was meant for Claire. Right?
Yes.
It was meant for her to
She was getting rid of Claire.
But Julianne
And how did
Moore,
she know that would be a thing? It wouldn't occur to me that the glass would break if you closed it fast.
I guess if you slam it shut. Well, and that's the thing. It only works. The trap only works if you like barge in to the greenhouse. That was the only reason why if you just walk in, like the door doesn't swing and knock the handle, and who the knows?
And it feels like police would investigate that shit. Like,
not
what
necessary.
Is this? Why is it here? No,
not necessary.
Police don't solve crimes. Reporters and supermodels do.
That is the rule. That is the rule. They're like, just throw her shit in the trunk and let's just get on with our lives. 100%. Sweet Jesus. Anything else, or shall we move on?
I guess that's about it. I love the little girl in it. Usually I hate the children. She's
still acting too. She's still doing some shit. So her name's
Isn't
like
she
Madeline Zima.
Oh, she was in that Roald Dahl one, wasn't she?
Oh, I don't know. Because she kind of looks like Mara Wilson, who was in Mrs. Doubtfire and some of those other ones, but it's not her. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Let's go behind the scenes.
I have one more thing. The little girl has the baby, and do you notice that she was stuffing her with blankets? I'm not sure the baby was going to make it.
Stop crying! Yes, 100%. And it was clearly not the baby. It was clearly not. It was like the American Girl doll or some shit. Because again, she's like 5, trying to carry an infant around the house. Sweet.
All right, I have one more thing. Wind chimes. Were wind chimes just invented and it was like a novelty and no one had ever seen such a thing? So because I see a house with a wind chime in some real estate flyer, therefore it must be related because my friend's house has a wind chime.
Correct. It's the kiss of death. It's the kiss of death. It's the mark of the beast.
Guilty.
If you have
Guilty.
Wind chimes, that means you can serve with the devil. Sweet Jesus.
Oh, one more thing.
Go ahead.
Ice is on the floor. The husband wakes up with a baseball bat, hears sounds. You see her in her sheer nightgown picking up ice. putting it back in the container
I did
and putting
notice
it
that.
back in the freezer. Floor
Maybe
ice, that's the best.
She wanted to give salmonella to the family. That was step one in her master
That's
plan,
it.
I think.
Step one of the plan. Everybody has to drink from floor ice.
I've got an upset stomach. Okay.
Why
Behind the scenes.
why does my eyes have dog hair?
Behind the
Go ahead.
scenes. Rebecca De Mornay initially auditioned for the role of Claire, and Annabella Sciorra originally auditioned for the role of Mrs. Mott Peyton. So
I might have liked that better. Who knows?
Unclear.
Unclear.
The title of this film, and they talk about that, was taken from the poem of the same name by William Ross Wallace. The poem praises motherhood as the primary impetus for changing the world. How about that? I can tell you.
Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's going to go in there and change that little devil baby.
Madeline Zima's acting debut. So this is the first thing she was in, the young girl.
Cute as a bug.
The musical theme that is featured in the opening credits that Peyton hums when strolling the baby through the park, and that Michael hears on the radio at the climax, is Poor Wandering One from the Gilbert and Sullivan musical, The Pirates of Penzance.
Poor wandering one, though thou hast surely strayed. Continue.
Rebecca De Mornay had been angling for the part of Tinkerbell in the movie Hook, which she lost to Julia Roberts, which prompted her, because she didn't get that, to seek something a little darker. Ironically, Roberts was nicknamed Tinker Hell by the crew of Hook.
That's what you get.
Difficult. Tinker Hell. Madeline Zima followed up this evil nanny movie with the movie Mr. Nanny, and then the sitcom The Nanny.
Oh, funny. I never watched that.
In a darker twist, Kevin Spacey was considered for the role of Michael, the husband.
Okay, Kevin Spacey is a brilliant actor, so he would
brilliant.
have done an amazing job. He's just crazy. He's
crazy.
A monster.
It would have been the husband that rocks the cradle or something. I don't know what the story.
Dude.
The fist that rocks the cradle. Christopher McDonald turned down the part of Michael. I do enjoy Christopher McDonald.
Who's Christopher McDonald?
Shooter McGavin. He was Goose in Grease 2.
Oh, God. No. No.
Let's see.
I just want to say, Rebecca De Mornay has been with so many famous people. She dated Harry Dean Stanton.
When she was young.
She dated Tom. Yes.
Yes.
And he was never young. He hatched an old man.
100%.
Tom Cruise, Leonard Cohen.
Yep.
I mean, 1,000 people. Famous fucking people. Harry Dean Stanton.
That is the craziest shit.
Yeah.
He was old and withered even then, and she was very young at the time.
I just imagine in his elementary school pictures, they're like, who's that tiny old man in your...
Is that your great-grandfather? Is that Methuselah?
I'm 7 years old.
Matt McCoy also worked with director Curtis Hanson in the 1997 Los Angeles crime drama, L.A. Confidential. How about that? Same director.
L.A. Confidential. I don't like watching it. It's upsetting.
Sybil Shepherd turned down the role of Peyton, citing her feminist beliefs. How about that?
What the fuck? Come on. What, your feminist beliefs? You fucking had an affair and broke up a marriage with Peter Bogdanovich. Give me a break. Your feminist beliefs. That doesn't imply to fucking over other women.
Well, can women be villains in movies? Is that allowed?
But I'm talking real life. First, women.
I know you're talking real life, but she said she turned it down because of her feminist beliefs. And I'm asking, does that mean if you're a feminist, there cannot be female villains?
Honest to God, I feel like no one wanted Sybil Shepherd in this role. I don't think she's that good of an actor, quite frankly.
I don't disagree.
She is flat. She is the Costner of actresses.
Rosanna Arquette was originally attached to play Peyton before Rebecca De Mornay was cast.
Oh my God, because they almost look the same.
They do look similar. I think that's about it. Let's talk about the cast and crew, shall we?
Isn't that what we were doing?
No, we were talking about the trivia. It's
Oh,
kind of related, but not really. Let's see. Directed by Curtis Hanson. You know him from such things as LA Confidential, something called In Her Shoes in 2005.
I feel like
Hello,
I've heard of that, but I don't know anything about it.
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle in 1992, and The Wonder Boys in 2000. He's also, if you're paying attention, he plays Meryl Streep's husband in the movie adaptation, ever so briefly, if you're watching. How
I
about that?
hate adaptation. Hate
I
that
love
fucking movie.
adaptation.
I
There are
know you
parts
do.
that
I
aren't as
tried to
good,
watch
though.
it again because you praised it. I'm like, maybe I was in a bad mood, and then I was like, immediately, oh.
I always say adaptation is hilarious until the crime shit in Florida occurs, where it's like Meryl Streep is involved with drug smuggling, then it goes off the rails. But that's
Well,
the point,
that's
I
the
guess.
question. Can a movie be good if only half of it's good? Is a
We're not
movie
too
great if
sure.
only half of it is?
Annabella Sciorra played Claire Bartel. You know her from such things as they only give two things for her, which is very upsetting. She was in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle and Jungle Fever in 1991. How
I
about
never
that?
saw Jungle Fever.
She's
And then
got
she
jungle
retired?
fever. No, she's currently on Tulsa King. She's 23 episodes of Tulsa Kings. I wonder why they only gave
I
two
don't.
things. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't think I've ever seen that, and it's kind of an insult.
No,
Let's see.
don't know.
Rebecca De Mornay played Peyton Flanders, but really she's Mrs. Mott, the sinister Mrs. Mott.
Mrs. Mott. What a
You,
terrible name.
you know her from The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. She was in Runaway Train in 1985 with Eric Roberts and John Voight. She was in Risky Business in 1983 and was super foxy.
That was
And
a big thing.
that was a thing. And she was in The Three Musketeers in 1993 opposite Chris
That was
O'Donnell.
huge.
Yeah.
That was huge. Every young actor that was hitting it was in The Three Musketeers.
Kiefer Sutherland, Oliver Platt,
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, Tim Curry.
Yeah. He played Richelieu, if I recall,
did.
going into the Wayback Machine.
100%.
I do love The Three Musketeers.
Matt McCoy played Michael Bartel, the husband. You know him from such things as The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. He was in four
He's Lloyd
episodes.
Braun.
He was in 2 episodes of Seinfeld as Lloyd Braun. He was in Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, 4 episodes in 2018.
There's no way he could be Jack Ryan. That's not possible.
No, he wasn't. He was Dr. Daniel Nadler.
There we go.
Episodes. He was in 4 episodes of Silicon Valley on HBO.
I never could get behind that show. I kept trying to give it a spin.
It had its moments, but you're right. I watched a couple seasons and I'm just like, I just noticed I'm never laughing. So I don't think I'm going to watch this anymore.
Yes.
He was in another movie we reviewed. He was in Deep Star 6. How about that?
Sounds about right.
And I always talk about when Steve Guttenberg said, I'm not doing these Police Academy movies anymore. They hired Matt McCoy to be the
He put his hand up.
Right. They had him be the Mahoney equivalent. The same type of character, but not as successful. Let's see.
Never saw Police Academy.
Really? I still go to bat for the first 2 at least. I think they're stupid fun is what I think, especially part 2.
Yeah, they're definitely stupid.
Ernie Hudson played Solomon, who is redeemed in the end. He helps save the young girl.
But he was found innocent, basically. He didn't do anything. Redeemed.
Well, but
I thought he did a fine
exonerated. Job. He was exonerated. Does that make you feel better?
There we go. Yes, I feel better with that.
You know him from Ghostbusters in 1984. He was in something called Family Business, 62 episodes. Unfamiliar. He was in Ghostbusters 2 in 1989. He was in The Crow in 1994.
Never saw it.
You never saw The Crow? Add it to the list.
I've never seen The Crow.
Jesus.
Put it on the list.
He was in another movie that we did on this show. Do you remember what it was?
No.
Congo with Talking Amy. Tickle me. Tickle Amy. And he was great in it. Say what you want about Congo. Not an outstanding film. Ernie Hudson. He's really good. He's a good actor.
He's good.
Yes.
He really should be doing more stuff.
100%.
I agree.
He's not just the fourth Ghostbuster anymore, right?
Oh.
He's a real actor doing real shit.
They gave him nothing in Ghostbusters, so it really seemed like they just wanted to put a black person in there. I mean, that was a scam.
He talked about this. It was supposed to be Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy passed, and then they hired a real actor, Ernie Hudson, but then took away all his jokes.
Yeah.
All the Eddie Murphy shit they got rid of and made him basically the straight man.
Eddie Murphy wouldn't have tolerated all that bullshit. And Mr. Hudson just didn't have the power to say "fuck you guys."
I'm with you. Julianne Moore played Marlene Craven. You know her.
Craven.
That was
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven. She was in 2002's Far From Heaven, which is a depressing movie. She was in Boogie Nights, playing Amber Waves in 1997.
Boogie Nights. I must have seen that 1,000 times.
She was in Magnolia, your favorite.
Well, because it's everyone from Boogie Nights is also in Magnolia.
You don't call me lady. You don't call me lady.
You don't call me lady.
I laugh when I watch that scene every time.
Shut up.
I do.
We know you hate Magnolia. I love Magnolia.
Don't hate Magnolia,
They're so
but
desperate.
She's chewing some seeds in there. And she was in Still Alice in 2014. I think she was nominated for a Academy Award.
That's about Alzheimer's, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was another depressing movie. Let's see. Madeline Zima played Little Emma. What has she been up to? She was in 28 episodes of Californication, which is always weird when you see a little girl go from that to... a sex show on HBO. So with
I
Duchovny.
never saw that.
It was that's always so weird. When you're David Duchovny, who's got a checkered past with basically sex addiction, and then you're on a show where every episode you're having sex with 3 women. Always interesting choices. She was in 2 episodes of the new Twin Peaks, the revival, in 2017.
I didn't see that.
She was in 1 episode of You on Netflix. How about that?
Ooh, I did love You.
And she was in Bombshell in 2019, which was about Fox News and all their craziness.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that too.
And I think that's about it. Let's look at the rating, shall we?
Yeah.
Hand the Rocks the Cradle on Rotten Tomatoes. 67% fresh. Not exactly setting the world on fire. Do you know what the audience gave it?
I feel like those are current ratings versus ratings from when it came out.
Who's to say? What do you think the audience gave it?
72.
61.
No.
Boom. No? Not feeling that?
No.
Let's look at the top critics, shall we?
Let's do that.
Peter Travers of Rolling Stone says, Cradle is the kind of cheap thrill you hate yourself for responding to, but director Curtis Hanson and a terrific cast provide enough scary fun to make Cradle the first Fright Night hit of 92. How about that?
All right. See, that review was contemporary to the film.
Seems like it. Let's see. Vincent Canby of the New York Times says, Hanson creates the occasional effective shock effect to satisfy those who want to squeal and mock fright. More often, the devices he uses are such tired tricks to create the illusion of suspense that can't be sustained. Thumbs down.
Boo.
Wah, wah. That's upsetting. Now, let's check in with our in-house movie critic, AI Rex Reed, and see what he has to say.
All right, come on, AI Rex Reed.
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is a glossy nanny from hell soap opera where Rebecca De Mornay chews the scenery with such venom, you half expect the bassinet to file a restraining order.
That's stupid.
Okay. Thank you for that, AI Rex Reed. Sweet Jesus. Aaron, what is your rating for The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, 92?
I'm going to give it a nostalgic 4 out of 5 because it's inoffensive. It's a fun little horror movie. And, it takes me back. It's all about nostalgia. If this was a new movie that I'd just seen, I would be like, what the hell? But nostalgia factor, 4 out of 5.
It's definitely effective, but it's also a little lifetimey, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
It's
a
a
film
safe horror movie. It's a very safe horror movie. You're not risking anything.
You're not risking much, truly. Now, I will say this. I bought it for $4.99 on Amazon Prime, so I can watch it whenever I want.
Gather around, my family. It's cinema night.
100%. Next time I know somebody's having a baby, I just bust out the Hand That Rocks the Cradle, and we all just have a big
Rosemary's Baby, Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Absolutely.
100%. It's Alive. Throw that in there as well. Why not?
All the Alives. Yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm going to give it 3.75. I think it's entertaining. I don't know if I bump it up to a 4, but I can't fault you. I enjoyed it. So, such is life. Anything else about The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Aaron, or should we get on with our lives?
That's enough.
So, thank you very much. You can go find us all across social media. We're on Threads, Blue Sky, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. We're also on YouTube in case you want to see our smiling faces. You can also email us at the podcast that wouldn't die at Gmail. We are also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So don't forget to like, share, rate, and review. Won't you?
Won't you please?
Aaron, what is your social media situation?
I have much media. I am on the gram. I am the cult of Aaron. Join the cult. I have work on Artsy and First Dibs. Check it out.
Check out that good stuff. As you know, we like to check in with our friends and family across our social media landscape. Aaron, what are the streets saying?
Well, one is actually about this movie here. The Cardigans. Lloyd Braun really made a nice life for himself.
The Cardigans. Good Lord.
Tiny One commented, and this is regard to the Blackcoat's daughter, a very unrated, I think she meant underrated movie. It's actually pretty creepy and good, and I would agree. And then Patrick Michael commented, Oz Perkins hit a home run here. Great film, Blackcoat's Daughter. Absolutely underrated. And if you don't like Oz Perkins, this one's pretty good.
Even people who hate Oz Perkins.
Sally Draper, all grown up.
For sure. She's only 16. She's not all grown up. She's older now.
Dude, this is what happens when you follow a dark path. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Betty Draper didn't do a good job.
No, 100%.
This is next what happens.
Next week, we're discussing the horror classic Frailty, starring Bill Paxton, Matthew McConaughey. Who else is in this? Powers Booth.
Powers Booth.
I love Powers Booth. R.I.P. That's about it. Where can we watch Frailty, you ask?
That's a good question.
It's on Tubi with ads. It's on Roku with ads, Hoopla with ads. It's free on Plex. If you want to buy it, you can buy it for $5 on Fandango at home. I may just have to do.
I don't think I'm going to buy it. It's upsetting.
You can also just rent it for $3.99 if you insist on paying without ads. but you'll probably
I
have to do
insist
ads
on
anyway.
pain.
I
I'm
demand.
Lloyd Braun. I'm going to put on Pirates of Penzance, and I insist on pain.
100%. So, send in your favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions, and we may discuss it on the show. So, thank you very much, and be well.
Be well.